When it comes to Gary Payton II, his journey to where he is right now is anything but typical for an NBA star. After all, he was the son of the NBA Hall of Famer, and that should have been an easy life to live on, right? Especially if you wanted to follow in your father's footsteps. But it wasn't that easy at all, especially with certain issues like dyslexia holding him back in school. But Gary Payton II refused to stop, refused to hold back, and kept pushing to make his dream come true. Even when it wasn't apparent to the team he would help win gold with that they needed him. Before the 2021 NBA season, just before last season arrived, one of the most important role players on a club desperate to return to its dynastic reign, and the son of the legendary Seattle Supersonics guard Gary Payton, was preparing to apply for a desk job in the team's video department. Told you his path wasn't what you'd expect. Gary Payton II has had a basketball career full of rejection. He has been cut from teams 4 times in 6 years and spent 5 years toiling in the NBA's G League. And he'd just been cut again. Payton knew there was an opening in the Golden State Warriors video coordination department, so he approached assistant coach Jama Mahalila. It was an opportunity, he thought, to still contribute and participate. "I was dead serious," Payton says. "If I get cut, I'm going to audition for that job. I was just trying to stay around. At least I'd still be around the game. I could still help, travel, whatnot, and then figure it out from there." But Mahalila had other plans. "I just talked to him about the criteria for the video room. A willing learner, someone who can get on the court still and play, whatever. And he's like, 'I'll do that,' Mahalila says. And I'm like, 'Gary, I'm not letting you do that. There's no chance in the world you are going to do that. You are playing for this team.'" Payton was ready to do what he'd always done: adapt. When he was in the 2nd grade, Payton was diagnosed with dyslexia, a learning disorder that affects 10 to 15% of the U.S. population. Those with it often struggle with word recognition, spelling, reading comprehension, language, and visual processing. After nearly 2 decades of learning to adapt in the face of adversity, Payton was signed to Golden State's 15th and final roster spot 4 days after his conversation with Mahalila. And to be clear, it wasn't just one person asking for him to get that spot. The others on the Warriors wanted him there as well, and it was a big deal for him, especially after all the struggles he had gone through in his life to get to where he is now. Getting into the game. "I wanted to get away from the sport because of who my dad was, living up to the hype whatever," Payton says. "I just didn't want to deal with it." But by middle school, Payton decided to give it a try. "He was very lackadaisical," his mother Monique says. "I'm like, dude, we're dogs on the court. You're either in or you're out. Are you playing or are you playing? Are you serious?" When Gary was a junior in high school, he decided to meet with Daryl Jordan, a family friend and basketball coach who was working with Julian in the AAU circuit. It was with Jordan that Gary's footwork and other fundamentals of the game started to improve. How he got to the team he needed to be on. Among Adam DeSotto's responsibilities as an assistant coach at Westwind Preparatory Academy in Phoenix was helping players find spots at the next level. In September 2011, that meant posting on Blogspot, where he published scouting reports, one of which included a proclamation. DeSotto's would be surprised if this particular Westwind player was not named an all-league defensive player at least once in his collegiate career. When he talked to college coaches about this player, a defense-first, jump-out-of-the-gym combo guard, he could sense their hesitation. "It was weird," he said, because the film spoke for itself, and as the player's English teacher, he didn't understand how anybody could meet the kid and not like him. Convincing the coaches to make the trip was like pulling teeth. To this day, DeSotto's cannot explain why there was such little interest in Gary Payton II. You'd think the son of a Hall of Famer would be overhyped, not under-recruited. "I couldn't even get the Big Sky to come and look at Gary," DeSotto said. "His name's Gary Payton and he's athletic. So 1, that means I'm a terrible salesperson, but 2, he wasn't really somebody that people took that seriously." Payton was 19 when he got to Salt Lake Community College, 23 when he went undrafted out of Oregon State, and 29 when he got his 1-year contract with the Golden State Warriors. This past Christmas, Payton starred in the marquee game. When Devin Booker neglected to box him out, he soared to the rim for a powerful putback. The kind of play that looks 1,000 times more impressive when the guy making it is 6'3". In the afterglow of Golden State's victory, Andy Liu, co-host of Light Years, a long-running Warriors podcast, changed his Twitter display name to Gary Payton II Stan account. "It's just an unforgettable season," Payton said on January 10th, the day he officially kept his spot, just before the team plane departed for Memphis. "My first locked-in season, guaranteed. And with this team, it's special guys on this team." The Warriors are indeed a special squad, and if Payton II can make them better, which he absolutely did, then that makes him an invaluable part of all that's going on. Making his name. Payton has seen the Chase Center crowd give him a standing ovation and heard it chant his name. He has harassed opposing stars from Chris Paul to Nikola Jokic, won a jump ball against the 6'11" Jonas Valanciunas, and he dunked so hard he got headbutted and earned a new nickname. Young Glove is Payton approved, as are the Thief and GP2. He's little Gary to family, and don't even think about calling him the Mitten. He's hard to define, so the things he does on the court have to be pretty special, Golden State assistant coach Ron Adams said. And he's carved out this niche that worked for him and is extremely helpful to a team. Payton is proud of the fact that he broke out so close to turning 30. There's not an exact age when executives stop seeing you as a prospect, but it happens. They definitely look for younger guys to breed and make them their future, he said. But if you think about it, I didn't really start playing basketball until my senior year of high school, so I don't really have that much wear and tear on me. I'm pretty athletic still. I can still move pretty quick. By his own admission, Gary Payton II has said that he is a late bloomer, and that probably led to why people weren't willing to take a chance on him, despite being the son of the Glove, a legendary NBA player who went up against Jordan and others during his time in the league. But now, he's making his own name, and that leads up to the great irony of his career once again. Once wanted, twice signed. There's absolutely no doubt in anyone's mind that Gary Payton II was vital to the Golden State Warriors winning the NBA title this year. His work on both sides of the ball in both the regular season and the postseason and the NBA Finals against the Boston Celtics were vital. There was even a point when he was injured in the playoffs, and many wondered if they'd suffer without him. That's how important he was to this squad. And yet, not long after the finals happened, Gary Payton's deal with the Warriors was up. They could have re-signed him, but they chose not to. Thus, in July, he made a deal with the Portland Trail Blazers, and now he's going to be a guard for them. Portland is hoping to get that defensive power and teamwork ability to finally push their squad to the next level. To be clear, while many Warriors are mad about the loss, they do wish Gary Payton the best. And they hope that he can prove to the Trailblazers that he is someone who is worth the deal that he got. After his time with them, who knows where he might end up next? But at least he knows at last that he has a home, and one that hopefully will appreciate him in the long term. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at Gary Payton II and how his scouting by the Warriors would lead them to a championship, as well as a lost player? Were you surprised by the journey he took? What do you think is the most inspirational part of his journey? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.